A mysterious spinal condition has made life a daily battle for one Brisbane family. 12-year-old Harrison Wheatley was born with 60% of his spinal cord crushed, while his little brother Max also suffers from spinal deformities that make it difficult to walk. Geneticists have been working to diagnose the cause of their condition for more than 9 years. And finally, a Queensland discovery has yielded some answers. Elise Edwards reports.
The ABC first met Harrison Wheatley a few months ago at the finish line of the City to South charity run in Brisbane.
You are a rock star, mate! Congratulations, Harrison Wheatley!
How do you feel, Harry?
Good, thank you. Exhausted, and everything.
The 12-year-old usually gets around in a wheelchair. He was born with a rare medical condition. His spinal cord is crushed and some parts are fractured or missing completely.
We call it the Wheatley syndrome because once Harrison was diagnosed, we were told that they had never seen anything like this before.
But Harrison doesn't let it define him.
There's so many people worse off than me in the world. So if I just keep going with life, then there's nothing that can stop me.
Were you stiff after your event? Yeah. How'd you go?
Fine.
The agonising process of stretching is part of daily life.
Lovely, lovely. Just going to bend up for me, put your feet on the ground.
The goal is to build up Harrison's strength so that he can stand and hold his own weight.
Cool. How often are you stretching out?
Do you ever wish that you didn't have to have your wheelchair or your leg braces on?
Yeah, I wish that heaps of times. All I want to do is just play soccer or go out with the other kids and play rugby and that.
His 9-year-old brother Max was also born with the condition, but it hasn't affected him as badly. Only their younger sister Laura is free from the problem. Until recently, no one knew why.
I think it's very frustrating because as any parent you would want to try and help them, and if I could have done something during my pregnancy that would have stopped this happening, I would have done it.
At that stage when we initially found out he may never walk, or they really didn't know what his future was going to be. So for him to achieve what he's achieved at the age of 12, very, very proud. And to find out, 2.5 years later, Max has got the same condition, was just like someone putting a bit of a knife in your heart. There you are.
That was our squash team.
Craig and Julie Wheatley grew up in Brisbane, went to the same high school and lived in the same neighbourhood. What they couldn't know is that they also carried the same rare genetic mutation.
Hello! So good to see you. Me too. I haven't seen you for ages.
Geneticists in Brisbane have been trying to identify the cause of the brother's deformity for about 9 years. Last month, the countless blood tests and saliva swabs finally paid off. Researchers are now confident that they've uncovered the gene responsible.
That's just such an exciting discovery. It's a gene that we've known about in vertebrate development for quite some time, but we've never found a family before that has mutations in these genes. Previous research has shown that mutations in this gene cause vertebral abnormalities in mice and zebrafish, but we have never before seen humans with mutations in this gene.
We're mutated mice.
We all have mutations, Harrison. Every single one of us have mutations. Most people are lucky that it's not in an important place.
So when you're born, everybody has them.
So when you're a tiny little baby in your mummy's tummy, from when that you're developing, we all have mutations, and those mutations affect how we develop.
$1.50 then.
The breakthrough has been somewhat confronting for Craig and Julie Wheatley. They now know that they had a 1 in 4 chance of passing the recessive gene to their children.
It's unbelievable. I mean, for that to happen to two people that relatively lived within, 10 k's from each other, went to school together, ended up as partners, and then for this to happen, it's mind-blowing. But I mean, you deal with the cards you're dealt, so you just get on and have a go.
Finding a cure is a long way off, but it's an exciting first step for scientists and medical researchers.
Well, it means that we know how it's inherited and we know what the chances are that their children would have the condition, which is very, very low, unless they are unlucky enough to meet someone else who's got a mutation in exactly the same gene. This condition stops with them.
Are you going to walk?
And after 12 years of anguish and dead ends, the Wheatleys say they're relieved and looking forward to the future.
Just to know that there may be a chance that the boys' partners can get screened. It's all about their future and what can happen for them now. So it's fantastic.
It's easier to go down than up.
Boy, us, yeah, but it was only for a second. Yeah, he's a good little boy, and so is Max too, and the smile at the end of the day is worth everything. I hope they just have a really long and happy life. They fulfil their dreams, that's what I want.
Well, I get annoyed sometimes, and then the other times I just say, well, I'm just gonna have to get through it, and I do it. No pain, no gain. Yeah, that's my motto.